what they say about the rose out the concrete, flowers blooming in dark rooms, proof of when God speaks. What a passion and grind me. Call it perfect timing or alignment. The assignment provide peace. Confirmation through conversation. My knees been blooded, been praying for patience. Embracing these affirmations, we made it. Hard times, but we made it. Been shaking the devil off under pressure, we never faded. We the living proof of the promise, being honest. We cut from a different cloth. Black excellence satisfying us, we the living proof. I don't deserve it, far from perfect. A product of taking chances and leaning on his discernment. We the living proof. Living legends, it's a blessing to be a blessing. Providing the youth for the new perspective. We the living proof. The living proof, y'all.
Alright, welcome back to another episode of Living Proof. As you guys know, we've been dealing with the whole aspect of healers and healing, and what better person to talk to than my sister Monique, who is a hairstylist, and I feel like that is a therapist. So Monique, what do you do? What is your occupation here in the ATL?
I am a master cosmetologist here at Pressed Hair Care Salon in Atlanta, Georgia. So that's exactly what I do. I take care of women and I enhance beauty inside and out. Inside and out.
Inside and out. That's what's up. All right, we definitely gonna get into these questions.
Okay.
And we talked about who Monique is occupation-wise.
Yep.
But who is Monique?
Woo! Well, you said it. I am Monique Fuller, and I am finally proud to be her. Mm-hmm. I'm a woman, obviously, and I'm very proud of that as well. Being a woman to me means that I possess drive, I possess strength, I empower others to create positive change. I'm a woman of integrity, love, compassion, substance, more importantly, and I am a child of God. So
most definitely,
that's who I am.
That's beautiful. All right, and dealing with this whole aspect of healing, to you, what is a healer, and do you consider yourself a healer?
So a healer is someone who can identify and name, I guess, what you're experiencing or what you're going through and help you fix it. So I personally believe that God is the healer of all things. Okay. So I do think people can help you along your journey, but I just believe that you can never truly heal or recover or repair without seeking Him.
Without going to
without
the source,
literally
the
going to the source. So that's how I would define a healer. Do I consider myself a healer? I think that He gave me the ability to love, and the love that I give, I love really hard. I think that has allowed me to help people heal on their journey. Gotcha. I think that people look for what they need, and I enjoy helping people and being what they need. So I wouldn't say I would be a healer, but
you are, and a reason why I said that as far as being a hairstylist, because I know for me and my barber, I've confided some stuff in him that I haven't told anybody.
That is true, yeah.
And just the aspect of being a listening ear. Right. He might be doing somebody's hair, he probably don't care what they talking about.
I have heard everything under the sun.
I can believe it.
Me and my clients be like this.
So in a sense, you are a therapist.
I am a therapist.
Most definitely.
Label me. Label me.
And even looking at your story and things you've been through, do you believe the obstacles in your life had purpose?
Absolutely. Coming from a single parent household, my mom was very, very strong and very tough. So seeing that and going through that, I had to really grind hard and be strong. My dad has been incarcerated all of my life, as you know, so I had to, really get it out the mud, and I enjoy grinding now. But my mom's own trauma has impacted how I was raised. And I don't really want to get too deep into that, but it's some things that, she had to heal from. And I couldn't really be that little girl that I needed to be at, at a young age. And so just because she was so hard, but she's the most resilient woman I know, the strongest woman I know easily. And so, everything that I've been through has shaped me. I don't regret anything. I'm looking forward to the obstacles that are to come because they don't stop. So, I don't really lose. So I'm ready for whatever. I know that God has literally placed me where I need to be every time. So.
Man, that's awesome.
It's fair game
awesome.
in this real life.
And it's amazing you talked about how like the trauma and things your parents had to heal from could trickle down on you.
Right.
But I truly feel like as, you know, a new generation, how we got to be the ones to be that cycle breaker.
Right,
you know what
literally.
I'm saying? And not let it continue to go on to our kids.
Right.
Even people we work with, like, because easy as a hairstylist, you could easily, somebody coming to you with negativity, you can return it, you know what I'm saying, with negativity. But I know who you are, how you choose to be positive, and not let that affect, you know, who you are as a person.
Right.
So that's an amazing thing. And even going with thinking about trauma and things you had to deal with growing up, what are some things you feel like you blocked out from your past, but now, you know, this Monique has to face and deal with?
So something that I'm kind of dealing with now to this day is trying to like relinquish control. So forever I feel like people are just trying not to be so perfect and just being raw with my true, my true self. So for a long time, all of my accomplishments, majority of them has been based off people counting on me to exceed and surpass their expectations. Like people have put me in this box and I have let their walls really shape, how I execute. Now, when I do something, I do it, but a lot of me doing it and a lot of me, it has been because that's what people expect. And that's what, so that's what I'm trying to do right now, just relinquish control.
And from that aspect of control, I think that's something you really need to speak on, because I know for me, it's like when you try to be in control of so much, you could go crazy.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
literally.
And realizing, I think you even said it earlier, knowing who's in control.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I think that makes it easier for a lot of us. But in what ways, or how are you going through that process of kind of regaining control, but in the sense of understanding I can't control everything?
Everything, yeah. Just honestly, so a scripture that's been sticking with me lately has been Jeremiah 1:5. And he says, before I put you in the womb, I knew who you were. And before you were born, I set you apart. So for me, it's like, Mo, quit trying to predestinate yourself. Quit trying to put yourself over there when God said, be still and be here. And so that's what I've been doing here lately, like just being still, quit trying to I've stopped trying to predestinate myself. And just literally I knew he already set me apart. He's already ordained my steps. So that's what I've been doing.
It's definitely comfort.
Definitely, because trying to be perfect with every little thing I do has, and this is my truth, is I suffer from anxiety now. I went into depression 2018 and I overanalyzed everything. It's not healthy.
So what was your, I guess, depression experience like? Because I do think I experienced depression before, but it wasn't until recently I acknowledged it.
Like you identified
bro,
it.
you going through,
right.
You know what I'm saying, depression.
So I didn't want to do anything. I felt like I was just spiraling out of control. Like I can't really put my finger on it. I knew that I was going through it because I identified it, but I was drinking a lot and I was kind of drinking myself to sleep at one point. And I just didn't have the energy, the motivation to do anything. And so, it was a rough moment. And not saying that my tribe and the people that support me, I love everybody, but not saying that nobody would catch me if I fell. But it's just like I felt like I had no room. Like failing was just not an option.
Not an option, yeah.
So that's when I knew I was going through it.
I got you. Now I definitely can relate, and I think just our community, we gotta understand them. Well, one, that it's okay to feel.
Right.
And I think even for me, I kept trying to run from it of how I was feeling, and to the point I had to look in the mirror like, bruh, you know what I'm saying? You need to work on yourself.
Right.
And you need to deal with yourself.
Right.
And I know you talked about the aspect of control, but other than that, what areas in your life do you feel like you still need healing from?
I don't know if I can be specific about one. I would say all, because I'm still learning new things about me. And, moving here, like I said, was a challenge. So I'm learning and I'm still just willing to grow. And like I said, everything that God has placed in my life, all the lessons, they're just shaping me. So I'm finding the beauty in my trauma. And I'm, healing, and I'm just going through, just growing, just growing. So I would say all aspects, really.
Most definitely. Yeah. And I also understand it as well, because it's like a never ending.
Right. It's a continuous journey.
Cycle.
Like, are you ever really healed?
That's a good question.
Are you ever really healed?
Are you ever really healed?
So it's a continuous journey, but definitely a beautiful one.
And I think there are steps to healing, because it's not like life is gonna stop coming at you.
Right.
But it's like, and it's really the purpose of living proof. How can you use your story? How can you use things you've been through to get through life now? You know what I'm saying? For that next obstacle that comes up. And even going in still with this whole aspect of healing, you personally, where do you go to heal and to rejuvenate and to, get filled back up?
So, my car. Look, I can sit in my car for hours. I love my car. I sit in my car, I journal, I let it all out, I talk to God, I do everything in my car. I love being in my car. That's like my little sanctuary. It's like my safe place. Gotcha. I journal a lot. I write it out, and I leave it. And then sometimes if it's a fear, I burn it. And I meditate. That's another thing. I've incorporated meditating into my healing, and volunteering, helping people, helping somebody get in the community, doing some work helps me heal too.
Most definitely. I know we did something
years ago.
That was
life happened, but we're gonna get back to that.
No, most definitely. But it was a life-changing experience.
It was.
Something.
We were cutting hair for the boys' shelter.
Yeah, like something. I don't know. Not saying I didn't go expecting anything, but just how I was refilled.
Right.
Just hearing their stories, because they just wanted to chill and
talk.
You know
that's all it did. Yeah.
Yeah, they wanted a haircut, but that wasn't the most important thing to them. So that was an awesome experience. So we will link back up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, and get some things done. And you definitely spoke on it a little bit, but how are you using your story right now to navigate through life?
Grace. It's so much in that word, but grace. So just giving myself room to grow, like room to make mistakes, room to love all of my flaws, room to forgive those mistakes, and just accept me for me. Because forever, like, I fell in love with the Mo that y'all knew, the go-getter, the strong one, whatever. But like, I really had to face her, and I really did not know who she was. Like, I did not. So I had to really sit in that and get in tune with myself, and that's really important. So just grace. Just imagining myself as the best version of me, and ignoring any other doubts that I have outside of that in real life.
I got you. And even going back to the whole podcast and YouTube with Living Proof, you was one of the ones who I definitely was intrigued to hear from because of your response back to me.
Oh yeah.
How you was like, you needed this, and how it was good for you. Like, in what ways? I guess you can't really express yourself through a text, but what did that do for you, I guess, filling out those questions and really thinking through?
So filling out the questions, I couldn't really even feel, like, you made me feel things that I was just like, man, I don't even want to. It's still things that, having a conversation with Britt earlier, like, I still need to name and heal from, that I'm just not ready to bring forth.
No, it's perfectly
fine.
So,
but you made me think about those things, and those questions really hit, like, they really did, and it made me think, like, you do have a story, and you're not just out here living, you are living proof, and my background and my history and everything. I'm very proud to be me today. I am. And like I said, it took a long time for me to be proud. So now that I am, the questions were perfect.
I got you. And people see Mo, what I'm saying?
Right.
That's why it's definitely
in a different light.
And it's definitely going to be something, definitely for a young lady that's watching, even a young man that may struggle with identity. Like, what are some things you would say to that person who is going through or may have been through similar things that you have?
Just that. Close your eyes. Imagine you as the best version of you, and just go for it. Like, go for it. Don't try to be perfect. Don't just be you, but impact somebody.
And so you definitely have done that. You know what I'm saying? Even with sharing your story, and it's cool. You talked about the layers that you still have to pull back in due time. You know what I'm saying? It's like the same for me personally. We was having a conversation earlier of how, like, it's really the whole basis of this podcast. You know what I'm saying? Healers for unhealed trauma. Like, people who give of themselves but still have a lot to work on. So we taking the journey together.
We are. We are.
And it's nothing. And it's really another reason for this whole platform is to let people know, they look at us and like, oh, they got it all together.
And that you're not alone.
Right.
Because too many of us in our community, they single themselves, you're not alone. So that's good to have a tribe where you don't feel alone, because that's why a lot of people don't talk. And that's why I am so private, because you feel lonely and you can talk about it, because 9 times out of 10 they have trauma. You know what I mean? Like,
same thing. We spend so much time, putting on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like everything
right,
is good.
Right.
When in reality, we all struggling. You know what I'm saying? We all going through. So I'm definitely glad you sat down and spoke, even though this is just the intro. You know what I'm saying? We'll dig in at a later time.
We will.
This is our silver table talk.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? But just really allowing us to be a place of healing. And as I always like to say, it may be something you probably, I know when you get to the car or you on the way back home, you're like, man, I should have said this. But is there anything right now, like just last words that you want to say before we wrap up?
I think we hit it all. Just love you. For a long time, I've literally loved, and I still do, I love other people more than I love myself. So get in tune with you, love you, and just go for it. Because like I said, God does not fail you. He will not. So I've been living by that. Jeremiah 1:5, stop trying to predestinate yourself and be still. So I love y'all.
Most definitely. So how can they find you, social media, all that good stuff?
My business page is at Kissed Hair by Mo, KISSED, hair by MOE. So
and pull up to the salon.
Pull up. Press Hair Care Salon.
If you need to get your hair did.
We are here, yes.
So and talk to a therapist.
Right.
You know what I'm saying, to get some stuff off your chest.
Please do that.
So this has been another episode of Living Proof, where your purpose is within your story. Yeah.